Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. Once again, we got another week of college football and pro football action to talk about. So let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. We're gonna always, like normal, start with the college. And in college, it was a week for the healthy to get healthy, even more healthy. I mean, Georgia Tech just got stomped by Clemson. Incredible. And then we had Miami coming off of a loss to Clemson. They get right on Pittsburgh, and there was so many other ones that really was there. Boston College got whooped on by Virginia Tech, and so on and so on. I mean, really, the the the, the, the big games were North Carolina at Florida State, and it was a big game because Florida State upset the fifth ranked North Carolina Tar Heels, beat them 31-28, and this is just coming after a loss to Notre Dame, Florida State, and then 2 weeks ago coming off to a beatdown from Miami. So we had that going on, right? And talking about Notre Dame, they scraped by Louisville 12-7. I mean, they have a big game coming up against Clemson, and think about what Clemson did to Miami, and to what Miami did to Florida State, and the fact that they had some trouble with Florida State, and then had some trouble with Louisville. Doesn't look too good for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame coming a couple weeks as Clemson comes calling to Notre Dame Stadium for a night game. But if you're a Notre Dame fan like myself, you hope for the best. Hope the defense can get better, and you hope the offense can score some points. So we hope for that. Game of the week though was obviously Georgia versus Alabama. Alabama beat Georgia 41-24. It was relatively close for most of the game, but in the second half, some interceptions, turnovers from Georgia turned the game around, and Alabama took control and won 41-24. And they did it with the help of their coach, Nick Saban, who had tested positive for COVID-19, or at least it would be thought, um, by SEC rules, not CDC or anything like that, according to the SEC, the Southeastern Conference rules. Once you test positive, if you have three consecutive days of testing in which you test negative, they consider it to be a false positive, and that's what happened with Nick Saban, and that's why he was able to coach Saturday night. He tested positive Tuesday afternoon, or actually I think it was Wednesday, and then a test on Thursday, a test on Friday, and a test on Saturday morning showed that he was uh, negative all 3 of those days, and it gave him the ability to coach on Saturday night against Georgia. So a lot of people think it's coming. Could it be fishy? Could it be, would it be, could it have been a ruse, anything like that, or what was it even lying? And maybe he coached with COVID, But I don't think if we found out that it was lying and he decided to coach the team with COVID, and then then doing other things where they were being with his players and the other players on Georgia, it would cause a catastrophe. So I don't think that there's any rumors for those conspiracy theories about that. So I think we can just stop that. Another big thing this past week in football was that, speaking of COVID, there was a lot of postponed games. Oklahoma State and Baylor, LSU in Florida, Vanderbilt in Missouri, FIU in Charlotte, Southern Mississippi, UTEP, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana, and Cincinnati and Tulsa, all postponed because of COVID-19 reasons. And this is just one of those things that we just have to deal with. There's gonna be a lot of games in both college and pro that are moved around, that are postponed, that are canceled, that are forfeited because of this COVID-19. And I think you have to be okay with it if you want football to be here. I mean, listen, we have not done the right things in this country to where we would be in a better spot than we are now. We fight wearing masks, when we fight, science, and we fight, whatever, because it comes from one side of the aisle, and you're on the other side of the aisle, and it's just, we just torn down as a country, and so we're gonna have all of these things where it's this is the way we are, unfortunately. But yeah, it has come to this. But listen, football is back, and we're playing football, and I think that's all we can really, be happy about, is that we are getting football. And speaking of that, we are now, not only have we had in football, but now I think we're getting a full glance of football, as there are now many other places coming back. They're coming back, and they are giving us football. The Big Ten, the MAC, the Pac-12, many others are coming around and giving us football this week and next week as well. Um, to talk about, like, tomorrow night, Friday, October 23rd, we got Wisconsin, ranked 14th, going against Illinois. That should be that should be a big test for Illinois. They were pretty good last year, and we'll see how they are against a ranked Wisconsin team. And many other games: Nebraska, Ohio State on Saturday, Penn State, Indiana. How about the battle for the axe? Right, it's the axe, I believe. Or is it the pig? I can't remember which one of these, all these, trophies. Minnesota and Michigan, right? It's the I think that's for Florida Roysdale. That's the pig. Yeah, so that's happening. And some other ones are coming out. I think Pac-12 starts next week, but the Big Ten is back. I think that's probably the biggest game, is Michigan versus Minnesota. That's probably the big one. Michigan ranked 18th. Minnesota ranked 21. Minnesota under PJ Fleck, bringing Minnesota up to a big level in the Big Ten. And of course, you got Jim Harbaugh in Michigan as their team. They still have to beat Ohio State before we see anything else from Michigan. But this should be pretty interesting as well. And um, we've got the third Saturday in October. They somehow were able to get this one right. Every year, the third Saturday in October, Alabama faces Tennessee, and once again, here we are, the third Saturday in October, Alabama against Tennessee. Unbelievable. Clemson is taking on Syracuse. We got Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. Oklahoma State, Iowa State. That could be a good one. The Cyclones ranked 17th. Oklahoma State ranked 6th. Cincinnati and SMU, both teams are ranked. Both teams undefeated, I believe, as well. NC State, North Carolina coming off their loss. NC State, first time ranked this season. And some other really, really good ones, I think, as well. Could be Ole Miss and Auburn. Could be a slobber knocker. Oklahoma, TCU could be one. I'm looking at this list, and I think about the past 4 or 5 weeks. I've looked, and the list has just not had. It's only had like 12 or 13 or something like 14 games almost. I'm looking at this list, and this is just like a list of 30, 40 games, and it's so wonderful to see. Football is coming back, and it's better than ever. Games that has been postponed: Georgia and Kentucky, and Missouri and Florida. Both have been postponed. I have not known why. I think could be Florida could still be going around for some. Their coach had caught COVID-19, and they had some players that caught COVID-19 as well. So we'll find out more as any more cancellations happen over the next couple of days. But yeah, the football is back. The Big Ten is back. The WAC is back. Utah State, Boise State, Wyoming, Nevada, Hawaii, Fresno State. All those late night games, baby. I've been missing those. Late night games. Can't wait for the Pac-12 to start back too. Get some real late night games. Yeah. So that is it for our talk, our college football talk at this moment. But I gotta tell you, um, yeah, it is. It's one of those things where it is kind of it is a crazy week, because where there are probably only 2 or 3 games that could be that could end up being true true burners. But it's the fact that the Big Ten is back, and that makes it better. Ohio State, Nebraska, Penn State, Indiana probably should be blowouts, double-digit blowouts for state for both states. But I'm just gonna be happy that we have them on the roster. So welcome back to Big Ten, and now on to the NFL. Did not have a Thursday night game because of the Titans and Bills being moved to Tuesday, and the Bills are supposed to face the Chiefs on on that Thursday, so it was moved to Monday night. So we had a second Monday night game. But as we go over, we had a great game with the Titans and the Texans going to overtime. Titans scoring in overtime off of the Wildcat with Derrick Henry, overrun over 200 yards. Ryan Tannehill still playing great football. Titans 5-0. Steelers beat the Browns 38-7. They're 5-0. They will meet this week. We'll talk about that in a second. Ravens beat the Eagles 30-28. Eagles tried to go for 2-point conversion and failed. Falcons got off the schneid, beat the Vikings 40-23. Colts came back from a 17-point deficit, 21-point deficit actually, I believe. Beat the Bengals 31-27. Lions beat the Jaguars 34-16. The Bears beat the Panthers 23-16. The Giants get on the board. They beat the football team of the Washington area 20-19. And there was some news about maybe the Washington football team would stay the Washington football team next year. I'm kind of surprised at that. You have a, can you not, are you trying to find the right team name, or are you just going to call it the Washington football team? And that's something that just, I don't know. It doesn't sound. I would be willing to do it this year, but to continue calling it the Washington football team, to me, just sounds crazy. So I don't know. Broncos upset the Patriots 18-12. So that was interesting. The Dolphins beat the Jets 24-0. Big news to come from that is that Tua Tagovailoa came into mop-up duty in the last 2 minutes of the game, threw a couple passes, and ran out the clock and got to start the job. They announced that it was the starting. They announced that Tua Tagovailoa would take over from Ryan Fitzpatrick after the bye. I gotta be honest with you. This doesn't mean it doesn't make any sense to me. To me, this only make you only do this because this was something that you had already planned. You had already planned. Okay, we got our first 6 games of the season, and then we have a bye week, week 7, and then week 8 we came out the bye. If Tua is healthy, then we'll start him then. If that's the thing, then that's okay. I understand that, but you should have told Ryan Fitzpatrick. You didn't tell him that, and he was just, as he said he was heartbroken because this was 3-3. He was playing well, and thought that maybe he could they're in second place in the division, above the Patriots and obviously the Jets, and thought that maybe he could even make a run to the division, but I doubt that. The Miami Dolphins said that okay, we're 3-3. We're gonna wait for we're not gonna wait for Fitzpatrick to go, as they like to call it, Fitztragic, and do the 4 or 5 interception game or something like that. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna go to Tua now, because Tua as a rookie is more than likely to throw his 4 or 5 interception game as Ryan Fitzpatrick is. He's a rookie. So to me, this stinks of a predetermined outcome that they had for this situation. The only thing is they didn't tell Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they should have told Ryan Fitzpatrick that that's what was going to happen. So you hate to see that happen to Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Buccaneers shocked the Packers, beat them 38-10. 49ers beat the Rams 24-16. In the two Monday night games, Chiefs ran the ball all over, up and down the field against the Bills, 2016, 26-17. And the Cardinals destroyed the Cowboys 38-10 on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, it's just some real interesting things happening right now. Some news we talked about. News that dropped this week. Seattle and some other teams are also looking into signing Antonio Brown, as after week 8 he is eligible to be signed and play games and things like that. Being coming off being suspended for the personal violating the personal conduct policy. Excuse me. And so yeah, we heard about that. And just today we had a trade. Minnesota traded Ngakwe to the Baltimore Ravens. So we'll see how that figures out with him. Probably some more and more trades. There's more and more trades happening. As we get closer to the trade line, more and more trades will happen as more people would trade off picks for different things. But as we look ahead to week 7, we start tonight. The Giants and the Eagles. I'm probably going to be the only one watching that game. Everybody else will be probably watching the Trump and Biden debate. I will be watching that too. I'll put that on somewhere else. And but I want to probably be paying more attention to the thing. Here's a developing story as well. The Ravens are going to bring in Dez Bryant for a practice squad evaluation. So we've got Dez Bryant coming in for a practice squad evaluation to the Ravens after they've traded a couple of picks to get Yannick Ngakwe. And we got reports about Seattle and other teams being interested in Antonio Brown. So a lot of things happening right now as we're getting closer to the midpoint of the NFL season. So again, like I was saying, Giants and Eagles tonight. Let's see if the Eagles can get back on track. Let's see if the Giants can continue this winning streak. Panthers Saints on Sunday should be a good one. Panthers a lot better than people think. Saints, probably a lot worse than people think, but they're good. Bills should rout Jets. This should be a get right week for Josh Allen. He hasn't played bad, but you can't say that he has played well as well over the last 2 weeks. Just been average at best, and so this is a get right week for him. That he should take advantage of this Jets defense all over with that talent on offense, things like that, and then put a good 40 burger up on the Jets offensively, and that make you feel a little bit better. Browns and the Bengals, another get right week for somebody. Baker Mayfield after coming off a 38-7 beat down from the Steelers. Time for the Browns to get back on track, get back in the groove, and maybe get back into these scheme of things for the wild card. Cowboys and the Washington football team. Again, we're talking about get right. Andy Dalton should get right. Ezekiel Elliott should get right against the Washington football team. It's just time because they got the talent to do so. So they need to go ahead and do so. And also they need to get right with the teams as there have been some people anonymously speaking to people from NFL Network and other places saying that these people don't know how to coach. The coach staff doesn't know how to coach and they don't know how to teach the right things. Yada yada yada. But as of right now, it doesn't look like you know how to play. Right? You don't know how to play anything. So you should just play along. Packers against the Texans. Packers should do some damage there. Lions and Falcons. That might be one of those good games between two bad teams. So we'll see about that. Steelers and Titans. This is the game of the week. 5-0 Steelers, 5-0 Titans. Titans are at home. I'm going to expect Titans up here to keep it continue, and they're going to run the ball. They're going to play some good defense and Ryan Tannehill is going to make some great passes. I expect the Tennessee Titans here to beat the Steelers. Seahawks at the Cardinals. When Seahawks come off their bye, they're going to they're going to maintain their momentum, beat the Cardinals. Chiefs and Broncos. You know, Chiefs ran the ball 40 some times in the bad weather up in Buffalo. Um, I don't see them doing it this time. I think we're going to get back to the high flying, powered offense that we've not seen from the Chiefs. So I expect a 30, 35, 38 points put on the Broncos on Sunday. Um, the Jaguars and the Chargers, is both these teams not really uh, not really playing for anything except for respect. Justin Herbert has been playing very well as the quarterback. Gardner Minshew, I think, I haven't heard anything bad about him, but I haven't heard anything good about him either. So, this Jaguars are another team that are in that in that sweepstakes for the top two quarterbacks. So, we'll see about that. 49ers at the Patriots. Jimmy G takes the 49ers back to New England. Um, they'll be out with some of their big running backs again. So we'll see if Jimmy G they'll put it on Jimmy G's arm, or will they use some of the other running backs to use and still maintain a slight running game. So we'll have to wait and see about that one. Buccaneers and the Raiders, the Sunday night football game. Raiders offensive line been sent home because Trent Brown caught COVID-19, so they sent him home. Like that. So we'll see. We don't even know if this game could be played. We don't even know what it would look like. This is the Gruden Bowl. Raiders, Raiders and Buccaneers playing each other. Gruden won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers after being traded from the Raiders to the Bucks after they fired Tony Dungy back in 2002. So it's gonna be a really wild one. We're really look out for that one. And then of course Monday Night Football game, my Bears against the Rams. That defense led by Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey going against that offense, which has been meteoric at best. It's pretty. Sometimes it's pretty awful, unbelievably. So, the last two times the Bears played the Rams, Bears have shut down Jason Goff himself. Thrown no touchdown passes, thrown 5 interceptions. So, we will see how the Monday Night Football game is going to go. Obviously, as a Bears fan, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst. So, we'll go out and we'll let business be as they are. Play here before we go. 1-1 in the World Series between the Rays and the Dodgers. By next Thursday, we will have a new champion of the Major League Baseball, and so we'll talk a little bit about that as well next week as things happen. But next week again, we'll still be doing the football. So again, and for those of y'all who are wondering, why is this out on Thursday? Well, I've decided that it was probably better for me to do this on a Thursday. Tuesday seems to be a hectic day for me, trying to do the podcast and then doing other stuff as well. So I decided to move this to Thursday. It is now on Thursday. I think Thursday is pretty good too, because Thursday starts off the new week of both weeks of college and pro football most of the time. So yeah, moving to Thursday. It's all in all, I think it's a good thing. It will be back on Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving. But obviously because of Thanksgiving, it'll be back on Tuesday that day. But I think for the rest of the season, it's going to my podcast, the Game According to Me, will be on Thursday. So make sure you are looking at it for on Thursdays. You're looking for on Thursdays, wherever you can find your wherever you find these podcasts at, wherever you listen to it at. There's many places it is on your iHeartRadios, on your Googles, on your Amazons now. It's everywhere. So make sure you go and you always search the AJTRIP show. Look for the name according to me. Search many things of it. You can find it. Or if you're listening through Anchor.fm, again right here every Thursday now. It's the end according to me. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. If you go to patron.com/AJTRIP, become a patron. Also hit a certain amount of patrons, you will be able to determine what you would like to see me talk about on my YouTube channel, what video game you'd like to see me play on Twitch, and then of course what you want to see me, what you would like to hear me talk about here on my podcast. This is a sports-based podcast. However, uh, if you get to that point to where I have some of my patrons, I will talk about other things. You want me to talk about, a particular type of sports or a particular type of um, 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 things going on in sports or something in the world or anything like that. Definitely will do that. I think the way I'm gonna do it is probably gonna be like multiple choice or something like that. I think we will. So it'll be like a vote. Yeah. So again, patreon.com/AJTRIP to become a patron. Or if you're if you want to support me, and I appreciate it so much, you can do it directly through Anchor FM. 3 tiers. 99-cent tier, $4.99 tier, and a $9.99 tier. You don't get no special privileges or anything like that. You don't get to vote on anything. It's just that you like my stuff so much that you want to support me by being a subscriber, I guess. That's what I have to say. So, any way it goes, whether it's Patreon or the Anchor FM, just the fact that you want to support me with your money makes me feel so good, and I appreciate that so much. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.